With, I read that you wrote at a very early age already occult satanic poetry. Do you still remember one of the poems you wrote then?
Well, that's what you do when you're young. You write that kind of stuff, and then you grow a little bit more mature. And start understanding these things are like just principles of a larger stuff. Well, I don't know how to quote it by heart, but I wrote like a kind of occult poetry at the time. And it ended up in a record I did outside Moonspell called Demonarch. And I picked up all these, crazy lyrics from the past. It was stuff that has to do with the occult, but it's a very, very broad subject. People relate very much the occult arts into something else than not human knowledge. And for me, it's just like rocket science or psychology or metaphysics. The occult is like a branch on itself, and I was more into that, poetic and academic part of it, definitely.
Okay. Because what did trigger you at that time to go in this direction and also to write music and maybe poetry in that form?
Well, yeah, it's all the same reason. When it obviously when it comes to the more occult part, Portugal was a very, very Catholic country. We had 3 centuries of Inquisition together with Italy and Spain. And it's a Christian-born country. So the pagan period of Portugal was very, very short and not as important as, for instance, the Scandinavia or the Celtic. So, but inside the Christian faith, there's a lot of really, things that arouse a lot of doubts. And I think when you start questioning, you definitely start seeing things by another different perspective. As for the band, it's just like any other really kid with the dream, like we liked underground metal a lot. We had a fanzine. We had a lot of contacts throughout the world by letter at the time. So we felt that we could be a part of this scene as well. And also because music was just inspiring us to do our own music. I think that's how every band, like real band, is born, by the love and respect one has for other kinds of music and other artists. Yeah.
Because you also said that Quorthon of Bathory inspired you a lot. Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, I met him. I'm very fortunate man because already I've met 3 of my idols, which was Quorthon to start with, Tom Giwari from Celtic Frost, and Kronos from Venom. And those was the 3 bands I listened the most at the time. It wasn't Slayer or Metallica even, it was more, the darker stuff. But Quorthon was really special because I was 16 years old, so more than 10 years ago, almost 20 years ago, to be honest. And he came to Portugal to promote his records, Hammerheart, in 1990, and we were very surprised because there was no one coming to Portugal at the time to do such a thing. But he had a very, very good and solid fan base in Portugal. We wrote them all letters and stuff. So I got to meet him. I was very sad when he passed away because I think he was the genius of underground metal. And all these bands, for instance, on this tour are influenced by Bathory, can be otherwise. And then I went, so he was so inspirational as a figure, is the way he talked about music, that on the next day we decided to take the idea of making a band more seriously, and instead of just being a kid's stuff, started to be a little bit more serious, yeah.
Okay, did you, when he passed away, write a song for him, a tribute song?
No, I dedicated my work on the memorial album. It was an album we did after Quorthon passed away, to his memory. I wrote 2 articles for magazines as well. And basically, I got in touch with a lot of people, even ex-old Moonspell members, that we didn't talk for years, but Quorthon's death just made us write emails to each other, yeah, to participate the bad news, yeah.
So he connected you together and...
Yeah, a little bit again, yeah, that's true.
Okay.